and abroad. Tune in to Guyanese Morning Time, hosted by Kadaki Amsterdam, where the sun always shines. Guyanese Morning Time, the people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people call it Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. We rise up early morning watching Comes TV, where wisdom and knowledge, yes, it is the key. Exposing corruptions over land and sea, where the wicked politician they try to trick me. Guyana is a land for everybody. With 6 races should live in harmony. Is one set of people getting aisle money. Is one set of people doing the thievery. Beep. Guyanese morning time. The people call it Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people call it Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, this is a program that you all can see. Sharing your views and your integrity. Like it, comment and share it all around. Pass it to your neighbor, safe and sound. A sad situation going on in this town. The voice of the people is getting trampled down. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, with Jah as ordained me to sing. I sing Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. Stop fooling the people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. Stop fooling people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. I say Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. They got Breakford, Bork and Mark Benchcop. David Hines and Kadaki Amsterdam. Sherrod Duncan, Nigel London. Normal Brown and Gavin Matthews. Big up Paslow, Port People Governor. Simona Brooms, Robin Simpson. Hampton Green and Winston Jordan. And yes, we can go right on and on. Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again.
The relatives and friends of young Wyndham Bacchus, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of our in Boston, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of Peter Headley.
Guyana is an apartheid for sure.
Are you planning your next visit to oil-rich Guyana, South America? Well, let's accommodate you at Varon's Cheerful Country Manor. With free secured on-premises parking, our beautiful vacation air-conditioned home offers 3 beds, 2 bathrooms, a spacious kitchen, and all modern amenities. Located at Tushen, on the eastern bank of the mighty Essequibo and the western coast of Demerara, Varon's cheerful country manor is just a stone throw from the ocean. Make that reservation now on Airbnb and VRBO. For contact, call us on 516-770-3053 or 592-685-3521. Make Varon's cheerful country manor your home away from home.
All right, so today we are here at Club Twilight up in Buxton, and we are here to talk about all that's going on up here. Trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton, you're in Tongue, you're looking for a place to get away to, this is the place. The Cutters, mwah. Listen, I'll be having some just now again. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, the ambiance is beautiful, fully air conditioned. The decor is on point. The music's on point. Everything's on point. It's just me. I need some work. But everything else that belongs to this club here is on point. So if you want to find a nice little place where you can just drive out of town and have some drinks, have some food, you can call, you can order your stuff and just take it. You don't have to stay. Or if you want to stay here, that's what's up. And of course, they have special events for Valentine's. You can rent a hall. You can rent a hall, honey. You can rent a hall for weddings, for birthday parties, to have a bash. I hope he edits that out. But you know, whatever it is, this is definitely the place to be. So it's on Sideline Dam. You definitely want to ensure that you check this place out. But it's on your to-do list. All right, on your to-do list. This is definitely the place to check out, you know, a really cool, chill spot here in Buxton. I like this. This is Buxton needed this. We needed this. I needed this. You definitely needed too. Thank you.
Stop running around like headless chicken. Go to Ashton's marketplace for whole and cut chicken, beef, pork, processed meats like bacon, beef franks, smoked ham, ground pork, calabresa, and lots more. Ashton's offers wholesale and retail. Check them out. Call 613-2332 or WhatsApp 434-327-3955. Ashton's Marketplace at 72 Rob Street, Border.
Comes out your son. You burn this wine when I want you shine. The tree of life, them I want you climb, cause them art no kind. Comes, I say them art no kind. Buxton Massive, Kidaki, Red Hat.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T and W Harris Butcher Shop located in the East Ramvelt Market Meat section. Call us on 609-7168, 641-4494. Ask for Rastaman. T and W Harris Butcher Shop for the best in fresh cut meats and lots more. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. Give me a heads up if you can hear me. I see for the last 7 minutes there was a complaint of no sound. It's perhaps about 15 minutes or so. I apologize. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Yeah, thank you for your patience. Yeah, I noticed the thumbs up. Thank you very much. You know, technology, we deal with technology, and technology is made by man, and so sometimes it fails. And it is indeed is a stark reminder. I don't mind how much man tell himself he could do and he could do and he could do, and he could play God and so on and so forth and so forth. Don't always get it right. Doesn't always get it right. Morning, are you morning? Morning, neighbor, morning. Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. It is 7 hours 36 on the 11th day of the 11th month in the year 2024. That is the 11th of November. Wow. In the year 2024. What's going on this morning? The viewership look right. Call a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend that I'm on. Tell a friend that you're getting audio now. Tell a friend to tune in. I don't ask you to do that very often. So please share the call. Share the live. Share the program. Please do. Share the program. Well, last year I had an extended session of drum. I get some more drums while you share the program. We got things to talk. Don't worry yourself. We gonna talk things. But we can get some drums. Sometimes you gotta drum them out. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Call them over, tell a friend. Guyanese Morning Time is here again. Come on, let's do that, let's do that. And while we're waiting for you to share the live a bit, yeah, we don't wait too long, you know. Just want to enjoy a little drums with you. And remember to go into the Cash App, $sign KAMSTV, and the Zelle at 862-373-5187 in the name of your donor. Let me tell you another story. Some, you know, I always have people who I listen to, and they've been saying to me recently, Mr. Hassan, nobody don't put money in your Cash App and Zelle because they don't take you seriously. They don't take you seriously. You come and you talk about these things so casual, you know, as if it's not an important aspect of what you're doing and so on. Um, well, let me tell you, I share an anecdote with you, and you'll understand why I share this anecdote. You know, as a youngster going to secondary school, all the drums are not too loud over what we are saying. As a youngster going to secondary school, you know, you always had your crush. And there was this particular older girl that I was crushing on. Yeah. So I crushing on this younger girl, this older girl, you know, and thing and so on and so forth. And the girl never paid me no mind. And years after we completed secondary school and thing, and you know, we're done with school, meet up on the afternoon and thing, and you know, and relationships talks came up as to you know who is doing what and so on and so forth. And, you know, I was much bold against. I say, you know, all them years I was the girl, you never give me forward. Why can I keep moving for me? You entire that stubbornness. I said, no, seriously, you know, when we were at school together, I really had a crush on anything. I said, well, man, I tell you something. I never take you serious. You always smiling. You always joking. That's my nature. Right? That's my nature. You're not going to see me with a long face. You're not going to see me all perturbed and so on and so forth. I'm human. I do have emotions. But you have to generally know to what story is this? Yeah, we're going to start to get these kind of challenges. But I'm talking about me. And so when you see me smile and I talk about things, it is not that I'm not serious about them. I'm very serious about them. It is not that I'm not being serious, but it's just my nature. I think a smile not only relaxes me, but it puts the other person at ease. And so you don't take people's smiles for granted. Like I say, ask and teeth not laugh. Ask and teeth not laugh. I'm sure you grew up hearing that. And many of you, a lot of people have said to me over the years, Mr. Sam, you've taught us so much about parables or proverbs. Ask and teeth not laugh. It simply means that. Take, for example, a dog baring its fangs, growling at you, or just, you know, baring its fangs. Alligator, caiman, whatever you call it, you know, and thing. It doesn't mean that they're joking. You're seeing skin teeth, but it's not joke. It's serious business they're about, right? So sometimes you see me sit there and I smile and I talk, like more seriously. So if I say share the life, please share the life. We need you to share the life this morning. I don't know for what reason the numbers are down this morning. I know people are going to tell me, Mr. Amsterdam, remember the time has changed. Yes, I know the time has changed. But even when the time changed, the numbers were higher than it is showing this morning. So something must be afoot. But if you notice somebody is on, usually that is not on, it means they might not have gotten the notification. Just hit them up and say, hey, we there. Good? Right. And if I say to you, contribute financially via the Cash App, despite the fact I smile, I sneer, dividends, was it Thursday or Wednesday? Dr. Hines and I had a good laugh about the Cash App and so on and so forth. It is still serious business because the fact is, we have to get resources to do what we're doing. And what we're doing requires more resources as we get into a season where we're doing more. Let me give you an example. I like that's me. I always tell people I made a good teacher because I use sugar cake and sweets to teach. And I like discuss your business or our business because it is our business. Good. You see so much happening from the front end of Cams TV, but you don't know what's happening in the back end. Right? The other day, for example, I got up early. I had to get up early. I had to get to Bobby's, East Bobby's for what, 11 o'clock, I think. I was in East Bobby's for 11 o'clock, several hours. Any of you ever stopped to say, what did it cost to get to East Bobby's in terms of human capital, in terms of resources, you know, in terms of time, because time is money. When I'm out from Buxton, when I'm out from my place of business, things have to be happening. Somebody got to be doing it. Except me, it means somebody has to get paid for it. So sometimes when we say, you need to make a financial contribution, let's keep this wheel going. Not out of desperation, but out of helping you to recognize that these things have cost. As Cheryl would say, don't run from water. Right? I don't harass you. I don't come every day and molest you. And, you know, I don't lament on that. I simply say, remember the Cash App, $ KAMSTV, and the Zelle 862-373-5187 in the name of your donor. That's enough for me because we're dealing with big people. I would say we're dealing with conscionable people. I'd say we're dealing with people who are intelligent enough to understand. Right? Good. Now that I'm sure the internet is kind of working okay, you're hearing me clearly. At least that's the impression I get. Leslie says 1 hour to West Bobby's. I've been East Bobby's, Leslie. That was a whole 45, 2 hours drive approximately. Yeah, 2 hours drive. Long, by, I don't drive the long distances. Anyhow. Everett Bernard apparently is getting really a bit of error of transfer. I don't know for sure what you're talking about, Everett. I like to engage you in conversations, especially when you make these comments. I usually like to have a clear understanding of what you're saying so that I can comment appropriately. I ain't wild. I ain't the person just turn up and hear a conversation or just turn up here somebody say something and then they say, right, Mr. Amsam? And I say, right, it don't work so. Right, good. All right, so Leslie is saying that my song is on and off. Is it stable now? Let me ask that. Is it stable now? Is it? Because I seriously don't know what's the cause. Right? I really don't know. I haven't changed anything really. Good. So I'm being told that it's okay though. Now let's talk what I want to talk about this morning. This morning, my this and that morning, as I like to call it, when I have a range of things to talk about. Friday last, I said, I know you want to talk about the American elections. And so I would say I gave you the opportunity to talk about the American elections. But I want to continue talking about the American elections in terms of parallels for Guyana and the lessons we should learn from Guyana. And yesterday I was talking with a young man, at least a younger guy than myself. I was at this funeral there. And I was engaging in conversation with a couple of people, and this particular youngster say, Mr. Amsterdam, look how much million people the US got, and them was able to give results in a day. Why we can't do that in Ghana? And we can't do it in Ghana because we have no political will to do it in Ghana. We can't do it in Ghana because many of our politicians believe that it is their God-given right. It is their God-given right to sit on the seat of power until thy kingdom come. And so anything that is going to make it even remotely possible for them to be removed from the seat of power by the will of the people, they ain't gonna engage. They will not embrace. And that is why we as a nation are stuck in the past. I dare argue that we're stuck in the past. Even with oil, even with all of the spending that they're talking about on infrastructure, even with the $100,000 per individual cash grant, even with the use of modern technology to monitor traffic, as in the Safe City Solution cameras, etc., we are stuck in the past. And we will remain there for quite a while because the mentality of our politicians is not a mentality that is forward-looking. It is not a mentality that embraces freedom of the people, people's freedom, people's right to choose. And that is why we're stuck in the past. That is why we can't declare our elections results in a day. Yeah, we don't have hundreds of millions of people on our electoral roll, but we do not also have the kind of infrastructure that allows us, even in this modern day, to declare election results within a day. And what was it? What does it take? What really does it take? A mindset that said that people have a right to choose the government, and people have a right to what the government will look like in the shortest possible time. And so then the Election Commission understands its responsibility to deliver elections that are free, fair, and credible in a timely manner and issue those results in a timely manner. So they would have been they would have or should have put systems in place for elections to be held in a timely manner, smoothly, and the results delivered in a timely manner, smoothly, credibly. Let me give you an example of this. Elections in Guyana are held every 5 years. The last elections was in 2020. And so at the end of the last elections, what one would have expected in a serious democracy with serious institutions responsible for elections doing serious electoral work and not political work. There's a difference, you know. The Guyana Elections Commission is not supposed to be a politically aligned organization. It is not supposed to be. It is supposed to be politically neutral. And the chairperson, especially the one who is supposed to safeguard that neutrality when it comes to the commission, because the commission has the final say when it comes to elections. So yeah, the opposition nominates 3 commissioners. The government nominates 3 commissioners for a balance. So it's 3 on each side. So even if the 3 of them were to vote for their own interests, then the 7th person is the chairman of the election commission, Claudette Singh. And that person is supposed to be impartial, near apolitical, in that person's political preferences should not influence her decision making at the commission. And so she should be voting on issues based on merits. And if she votes on issues based on merits, there are times when the government nominated commissioners will have their way because their arguments are meritorious. And there are, of course, times when the opposition nominated commissioners will have their way because their arguments are more meritorious. It could never be under the sun, it could never, ever be the government nominated commissioners having their way all the time because the chairperson is voting with them all the time. Are we saying that the commissioners representing the opposition at Gecome are a set of nitwits that they do not have at any point in time suggestions, arguments, representation that are in the best interest of the Guyanese people or the Elections Commission? Huh? Is that what we're saying? Well, here I know for a fact that the opposition commissioners are not intellectually lazy and they're not nitwits. Vincent Alexander, for example, served at one of the higher levels at the University of Guyana. In my mind, he understands the processes above and beyond many of those, or most of those who sit at Gecome. And so something has to be wrong. If for the life of me, these commissioners cannot get the chairman of the commission to vote with them at any time. Check the last series of decisions that had to be made at Gecome by vote, and you will see, I dare argue 99.99% of them were voted on 4-3. 4 government nominated, 3 government nominated, and the chairperson. And so when you have an organization established for the management, impartial management, I dare argue, of elections, but the people who are operating, managing, staffing it are not impartial or are incapable of separating their political preferences from what ought to be done to ensure free, fair, and credible elections by the institution that they represent. We can't get elections that are considered free, fair, and credible. We can't get results in a timely manner. That is why. And why is that so? The commissioners, though nominated by opposition and nominated by government, though nominated, should themselves be impartial. But all of them, I argue, all of them are taking political instructions, including the chairperson. And since they're taking political instructions, they're making political decisions. They're not making administrative decisions to facilitate the delivery of free, fair, and credible elections and results in a timely manner. The question is, how do you fix that? How do you fix that? Because for as long as that remains as it is, then politicians will continue to give instructions to ensure or to increase the likeliness that they will remain in the seat of power forever. So it needs to be fixed. But how do you fix it? Twilight Singh holds a constitutional office. As far as I know, constitutional office holders are not dumped willy-nilly. Some of them have to die before they leave office. Some reach the age of retirement. And the age of retirement, especially for constitutional office holders, are usually farther along than it is for regular public servants. But if you ask me, I'm sure Claudette has reached the age of retirement. Is it possible then that we can get her to go by that natural fact? Is it possible that somebody can file a complaint against her? Because, like they did with Paul Sloan, I think, if you want to get rid of a constitutional office holder, the Prime Minister of all the persons has to convene a hearing. I'm calling it loosely, a hearing, an investigation, and then report to the President. On his findings. And so the President makes a decision. You think that will happen? I wait to see the day, but I want to live long, so I'm not going to hold my breath. But the time is near. The time is now. We have to step up the ante to get Claudette Singh to do the right thing or go home. I prefer go home and get a younger, stronger, independent thinker, quote unquote, the likes of Steve Surge Bally back in the days, to take the helm. I am not the one usually to push for overseas, for foreign nationals, let me see, to manage our institutions. But I think in the case of Guyana Elections Commission, we need a foreign national as a chairman, as a chairperson. You know where they say this person got no horse in the race? I think we need that. I will support the call for a foreign national to chair Gecome. I don't know if the laws permit it, but even if the laws don't currently permit it, I will support the call for the laws to be amended to permit a foreign national to be the chairperson of the Guyana Elections Commission. So you can have these political appointees or political nominees, But that foreign national, without a horse in the race, could bring some semblance of sense over there. In this modern day, the Guyana Elections Commission is saying it has difficulties in recognizing the importance of, and therefore requesting, the use of electronic biometrics. There is day and age, except if we're not stuck in the past, do people go and put their fingerprints, as we say, on people? Or their fingerprints are captured in people? In this day and age, where light is the technology, the use of light is the technology. Digital impressions is the technology. We are still talking about using a fingerprint on, capturing a fingerprint or DNA information on people. When they get brittle, when they get discolored, they become hard to interpret. In this day and age, when there's technology out there that will quickly analyze digitally what is on record versus what is being presented and give you a report as to accuracy, we are being told that Gecome is cautious, my word, about the use of advanced technology to digitally capture biometrics. Because why? There is a fear that if they use them for the elections, blackout might prevent voters exercising their franchise. Blackout might prevent voters exercising their franchise. Are we for real? Are the politicians who are giving instructions to the minions at Gecome for real? Guyanese, the citizens are a set of jackasses that such a simplistic explanation can be accepted and nobody does anything about it? It's difficult to access certain areas, or it will be difficult for certain areas to access the information because there's no internet access. There's no need for internet access. I said it last week, I'm saying it again. The same way you take information from your computer and put it onto a flash drive, a memory card, it is the same way those machines make provision for you to store or input your information on them. Or it is going to cost us too much money. When the country gets broken up because people don't trust the election results, that will cost us way too much money. That will cost us way too much money. Oh, we got to train people. They got to get extensive training. Any election commission that is serious about its duties would have recognized since the end of the last elections in 2020 that they need to adopt technological advances to make their job easier and to reduce the possibility of fraudulent elections, and so they should have been making provisions for training to happen since then. But are you aware that up until now, Kualet Singh has joined the government nominated commissioners, the PPP commissioners, PPP nominated commissioners, to deny the request of the opposition nominated commissioners for an analysis to be done on the 2020 elections, not the votes, but the systems that were used and where they failed and what needs strengthening. You know what I'm saying? Up until now, there has not been a post-production analysis of elections 2020 from the part of Gecome and its administrative systems. If you want to call it a forensic analysis of the systems at Gecome, it has not been done. They keep kicking it down the line because they don't want it to be done. So it can be improved on if you don't know where it's weak. You can't recognize the glitches and fix them. So which credible institution really and truly would resist fact-finding in order to strengthen its processes if it takes seriously its responsibilities? And so when you look at all of these things, you know, shit, they're really in a shithole country. Damn, these people hoarding hundreds of millions of dollars of our money on a monthly basis really and truly doesn't have the best interests of the country at heart. They're happy to sit there and take political instructions when they ought not to, and just go through the process, or as we say, we just going with the flow and get paid at the end of the day. Recognizing all of these things, I'm saying citizens got a big task ahead. Politicians got a big task ahead, especially politicians in the opposition, because all of these shenanigans are benefiting politicians in power. They're benefiting politicians in power, and so politicians out of power want to get power. They got to understand that, hey, you really got to stand up and work. What kind of country we live in? Less than 1 million people, you can't produce a free, fair, and credible election, number one. And number two, you can provide election results in a timely manner because of all of these nonsense claims. Yes, Guyana is a vast expanse. People live far and wide. But you didn't just wake up and find out that people live far and wide. You knew all along that people live far and wide. And you're saying from independence to no, nobody. Nobody from independence to now has figured out how to quickly, adequately, in a timely manner, capture the electoral wishes of the people who live in outlying areas and get them back to the city in a timely manner? Huh? Man, I can sit down in BUXTONIAN and I can place an order in the US in seconds or minutes. China, seconds or minutes, and get the response. Americans could have sat in this country and voted. And their votes recognized and counted. People are conducting polls in this country every day without even being physically here. And you're telling me that because of the vast expanse of what Guyana is, according to many of us, we can't get results in a timely manner when many of these long, far off communities, we call them, many instances they have 500 votes. In many instances, they don't have 500 votes. They can't email because they ain't got the internet services. They can't WhatsApp because they ain't got internet services. Whose fault is that they don't have internet services? In this day and age, as a country, we don't need to go and construct exorbitant infrastructure for internet access. You know what I'm saying? That wheel has already been invented. We got satellites hovering overhead all the time, providing internet to all over the place. Y'all remember the Beale Aerospace Project? I think that is what it was called. Beale Aerospace Project was supposed to be situated somewhere on the borders of Guyana, Brazil, or somewhere close to that. Good. That was a rocket launch company that was coming to do stuff in this year. VSAT, I think VSAT is what these satellite companies, if you know you got these satellite sat phones as we call them and so on. BC satellite. These are places. They talk about C-band, Q-band, and Ka-band VSAT service in Guyana. The best way to access internet via satellite in Guyana. So we ain't going to build crap. It's a matter of subscribing to the providers and getting the necessary CPC. I think they call them customer premise equipment for installation into the homes or places wherever we want them to get internet access. It's not rocket science. We ain't going to reinvent the wheel. It is wickedness, political wickedness, because these nasty, stinking, dirty, stinking politicians understand that if they keep people in darkness, they keep them uneducated and illiterate and intellectually lazy and all of those descriptions, then they can get to lead them with a ring in the nose. And that's the only reason why certain far-flung communities don't have internet access. So all of these excuses you're hearing, it comes down to one simple thing. These criminals have no intention of abiding by the will of the people or allowing the people to express freely their will, what they would like to see the government look like. So as Cameron Ramjitan used to say, they engage in control freakism. And they make all kinds of excuses and make the citizens look like dumb and dumber. And in many instances, the citizens permitted because we know none about it. We are do about it if we want to change. Especially, I'm repeating, politicians in the opposition benches. Let me talk about another story. The American vote is still the American vote we're talking about, and the impact for Ghana, the lessons to be learned from Ghana. All right, so I hope you get some lessons there. Free, fair, credible, and timely elections and results is achievable. You only have to have the will of the dirty, stinking politicians who believe that they want to sit in power forever and ever. Amen. But here, I'm treating this information as credible. I don't know how credible it is, but it's there. And I haven't heard it challenged. Following the results of the recently held US elections, a photo a photograph came into circulation, and it purports to show that had black people turned out to vote, Kamala Harris would have won the elections comfortably, if not handsomely. Comfortably, if not handsomely. That's a graph there. It says that in Wisconsin, Trump won by 23,000 votes. And in Milwaukee, I guess they votes what something in the states, boroughs in the state or what. Anyhow, but Trump won by 23,000 votes. But in Milwaukee, he had 93,000 black people who didn't vote. That we are talking about almost 400%. Almost 4 times the number of black people who didn't vote. In Florida, Trump won by 113,000 votes. But again, you had more than 3 times the number of black people who didn't vote in Miami, 379,000. Michigan, Trump won by 11,000 votes, but in Detroit, 277,000 black people didn't vote. In Pennsylvania, is that what PA stands for? I guess, PA. He won by 44,000 votes, but in Philadelphia, 238,000 black people didn't vote. In Georgia, 211,000 votes is what Trump won by. But in Atlanta, 530,000 people didn't vote, black people. Right? Are you understanding that? Now, this is a picture of what we call voter apathy, right? People didn't feel the urge to go and vote. People didn't feel the need to go and vote. And why they didn't feel the urge to go and vote, why they didn't feel the need to go and vote. Usually the most important reason is, I don't like the candidates. Or I don't like the, more specifically, I don't like the candidate representing me or representing us. And so in this instance, Kamala, I don't think Kamala gonna do anything for black people, although she claimed that she black and they say she black and so on. And so me want Trump, when me gonna vote for Trump, I ain't gonna vote for Trump, but I ain't gonna vote for Kamala also. But do you know a non-vote for your representative is a vote for your opponent? Have you ever looked at it that way? If you never look at it that way, look at it there on the graph. For every one of us who stay away from the poll, as is evident in the US election results, for everyone who stays away from the poll, the opponent has a better opportunity of winning the elections. Because the likelihood is that they will get their people to turn out to vote for them. That's a lesson for Guyanese, especially those of us in the opposition benches. Every day we fight on these programs, whether Aubrey Norton should be presidential candidate or prime ministerial candidate, whether David Hines should be presidential candidate or prime ministerial candidate, whether Nigel Hughes should be presidential candidate or prime ministerial candidate, whether or not these three brothers should come together and form a coalition, whether they should do it on their own or not. And I ain't supporting this one, and I ain't supporting that one, and I ain't supporting the other one. And so, if Aubrey Norton is presidential candidate and I wanted Nigel Hughes to be presidential candidate, I'm voting for no coalition. Because the person who leading is not the person I wanted to lead. And if Nigel is chosen as a presidential candidate, I'm voting for no coalition because I support Aubrey, and Aubrey is not the presidential candidate. And if David Hines is not the presidential candidate, I'm voting for no coalition because I like David Hines as presidential candidate. And so it's like children throwing tantrums with no reason whatsoever, you know. They're not logical. We can understand children. But adults are taking this position that, hey, if it's not a person who I believe should lead, then I'm partaking. Give me the bottom bar, like, can you hold me bottom bar? Me play no more. And then election morning comes. Election results come. And the people who've been whipping you for the last 40 years remain in power to continue to whip you. And continue to whip you. And you're gonna have and you're gonna beg for representation. But too late shall be the cry. My encouragement to you has been from ever long, since 2020. Embrace your flag. Whichever flag they give you, I don't know who gonna be you flag, but you embrace your flag. Dress it up.
make it prints, and go to work. Because I'm of the firm belief, I don't know about y'all, that any choice, any combination from the opposition benches right now is better than the PPP, number one. And number two, they're going to do better for the Guyanese people than the PPP. And for that, I will tell you again, embrace your flag, embrace the coalition. I don't care which way, shape, or form it takes. The PPP gonna cost all the leaders. They're gonna find fault with all of them. They're gonna tell you, or they're gonna what's the word here? I'm looking for the subliminally tell you. Nigel Hughes is a candidate for Exxon. Or you're gonna vote for Nigel, and Nigel is Nigel represented, or Nigel represents Exxon. And Nigel ain't gonna renegotiate their contract. They're gonna tell you though. They're gonna tell you Harvey is weak. Harvey ain't talking nothing about your contract. They're gonna tell you though. Harvey can't unite your own party. They're gonna tell you though. They tell you the evidence live overseas, the evidence can't be taken serious. You live here. They want you vote, you know. They don't want you vote. Explain what I said, they don't want you vote. They don't want you to go and put your ex to them, you know, the PPP. It will be an added bonus if you put your ex to them. They would enjoy it. They'll be happy to have it. But what they want to do is place enough doubts in your head for you to stay home. Like according to this photograph, this graphic here, like the American blacks did. Because once you stay home and you don't vote for your party, your representatives, it means that they got less of a challenge to overcome numbers. I hope I'm making it as simple as I can. I hope I'm making it as simple as I can. They want to get into your head. They want to place doubt in your mind. And when they doubt in your mind, all you got to do to satisfy them, you like none of them man of mine. The man ain't got the man why want to lead. They ain't give the man for lead. I ain't going no way. I ain't going to vote no way. Or buy me your family wake up early last election and we go there vote. And we ain't do nothing for black people. The coalition ain't do nothing for black people. We ain't going nowhere why. Because regardless of where I still not work. When people with your interest at heart is in government, you will still work, but you will get more value for your labor. You will get more value for your labor. I guarantee by now, if the coalition was in office, pensioners, whether it's about old age or NIS pensioners, would have been getting more than $100,000 a month. Let me stick to old age, because those you can track the figures. The PPP is now talking about giving people what, $40,000 or $50,000 as old age pension next year, 2025. But if you look at the trajectory of the opposition of the coalition back then, that money would have gone past $50,000 by now. I'm using that to say that, hey,
It's still a work. But the value you get for your labor would have been different. Look at the trajectory of public service salaries. And the rate at which the coalition was changing it from $35,000. By the time they were out of office, it was either close to $100,000 or something. But it had been increased markedly. And then you know for yourself, yeah, but I still working. But I'm getting a better value for my labor. So let them don't, as Bob Marley said, don't let them fool you or even try to school you. Don't let it get in your head and cause you to be an apathetic voter. Don't stay away from the polls. Don't spoil your ballot. I hear some people talk about spoiling the ballot because they were forced out of their house to vote by the people they're living with and they didn't like the candidates and they just spoil the ballot. Don't make it happen. American elections results didn't surprise me. Why? Because I knew one thing. America is about race. And the American whites are the dominant class in the American society. And so even if you give them a crab dog, as in Trump, a frog, they're going to go and they're going to hog up the frog because they didn't want you frog become a prince or princess, as in the case of Kamla. They prefer do all that is humanly possible to make theirs, even if they ain't like it. We have to start adopting. We have to start adopting attitudes like those. The white man fight for the white man. We don't fight for we gotta fight for we. We have to fight to consolidate our base, consolidate our vote. And it's not the politicians alone who gotta fight to consolidate black people vote in this instance. Black people gotta fight to consolidate their vote. So black people gotta have these hard conversations with their own people. Facebook users saying Obama's presidency left a bad taste in white people mouth. Wait, black people intellectually wise and smart enough, alert enough to understand that Obama presidency left a bad taste in white people mouth, and therefore they got to work 10 times harder to get another black person in the White House. And so strategize and decide that we can work 10 times harder to get another black person in the White House. It's not life as usual. It's not life as normal. It can be. It needs the input of every single person. And so back here in Guyana, like I said, I'm looking for lessons on the youth elections for Guyana. We have to understand that we have to consolidate our bases. We gotta get 95, 99, 98% of our people to turn out to vote and don't be apathetic like we're seeing on the screen. Because once we turn out in those numbers, it gives our opponent hell because they got big numbers to overcome. It's 23 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. I want to leave you with this.
Pan-Africanism, brothers.
The ERC can say it is against community standards. I tell you ahead of time what the ERC can say. But it is something that has to be said. And it's not racist. It's factual. It's historical. A lot of people have been cussing the Latinos. Because they said, despite all what Trump doing, what Trump say he gonna do against the Latinos and so on and so forth, they supported him. They're giving big numbers. They helped him to win the election. Who are the Latinos really? Are these the same people who have the qualities, cultural and other features like the Amerindians of Guyana? Is that a historical background? Are Latinos similar to Amerindians around the world? I would want to feel so in my ignorance. They come from the same ancestry. And history has taught me that there was never trust among the Amerindians and Africans in the slavery years, the years of enslavement. There was never trust. The Amerindians were used as slave catchers. What were the Latinos used as? You find out for me. You do the definition. So there's always a rivalry, subtle as it may be, between these two groups, you know. If you want to call them blacks and Amerindians, blacks and Latinos, whatever you want to call them, but between these two groups, there's always that subtle rivalry. And when we have to make a choice, we always choose the enemy of our enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And so the Latinos, despite what you call them in America, black or whatever, Latino, brown, whatever you want to call them, they in supporting no black man, woman or child against the whites to go into the White House. I won't come back home quick. Be the home in Guyana. At the end of the 2020 elections, the big cuss out on social media was the surprise vote of the Amerindian communities. Many people argue that they did not, the vote wasn't, I want to use this right word. What's the word I want to use here? Commensurate with what the Amerindian communities. Are you hearing me? Call you early. Is something wrong? Yeah. In a minute or two, you will get a call in. I need to wrap up on this. Yes. We were cussing on social media. A Facebook user, I am convinced that I'm mixing up nothing. All of them in the same bracket. That's they come from the same ancestry. Right? We cuss them. The other Guyana cuss them perhaps. All Granger supporters cuss them. Look how much Granger do for the Amerindian them and they didn't vote for you. You got an Amerindian wife and they didn't vote for you. Learn your history lessons. Learn your history lessons. The probability of the indigenous, let me use that word, voting for the PPP is higher than the probability of the indigenous voting for the PNC. So again, when we talk about crossover vote and we need crossover votes and so on, I'm saying consolidate your own. And if you get from the others, it's a bonus. Consolidate your own, and if you get from the others, it's a bonus, because historically, there's no trust or very little trust. Very little trust between that two demographics, if you want to call it that two group of people, African ancestry and indigenous ancestry. They're going to smile with you, they're going to play with you, they're going to entertain you, they're going to engage you out of necessity. But deep down inside, there is that distrust. And if you have to choose between you, and in this instance, Indo ancestry, they're going to choose Indo ancestry over you. Don't fool yourself. And this is not race. This is history. Because my history tells me that they were headhunters against my ancestors. And if you look at living history, if you go into those communities, you will come to understand the distrust still exists. The distrust still exists. It's an elephant in the room that all them big boy politicians, them doctors and lawyers and psychologists and so on ain't gonna tell you, because they don't want to be labeled and placed in a corner as anything. I can tell you. Good morning, neighbor, morning. Let me check to ensure you are getting proper sound before I sound off the loud mouth. Morning, neighbor, morning. This thing that I talk to me, this video look like a stick. All your morning, welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. How have you been? How was your yesterday? How is your today? How your tomorrow looking? How was your last night? Did you rest well? What happened yesterday that gave you hope that you want to live to see today, or you wanted to live to see today? What happened? Y'all talk to me. What's going on? I tell you the truth. Things ain't looking good in this country. It's November month already. It's the 12th of November. But I ain't even hear a Christmas carol yet. Anybody's playing Christmas carol? I ain't see nobody dressing up their business place and say, what's going on? Is our culture changing? Or things tight? I want better than things being tight. I think things are tight. When you see, regardless of how stick a pin. Yeah, wait later. I just want to miss stepchildren them. Rahman Mohammed, how your mother tell you such a thing about your stepfather? Why she was so rude? Or she told you to be rude to your stepfather? You know when your daddy been abandoned at you and go ahead home where you pick up a rum shop. And me used to provide for you daily. Yeah? Is that why you call me a jackass? Because I forget that you and me picnic. I ain't me picnic. But me recognize that I hungry belly. And I am mama be want little assistance. So me give she little assistance and me help her out and thing. And of course me help myself. So now puppy ton dog, you can come call me jackass. Look around you, sir. Look around you, son, and recognize the ass shit or horse shit that you're dwelling in. See, that is why I like being honest, because you can't take honesty. I come here and I presented a simple historical fact. And I'm told that I spreading racism. Is this this clown? Yeah, I spreading racism in Ghana. The people who spreading racism in Ghana is the down at Rouse Street for the greater part. It's them taking away black people land. It's them oppressing black people and people that don't look like them. It's them ensuring at all costs that they keep public servants' wages and salaries so low that they can't even use their income from their daily jobs to live them out of poverty. Right, Raman? I ain't gonna block you yet. I want you to go and have a discussion with your mother and then come back and apologize. Or at least be quiet and learn something. Unless you don't want to accept history. Unless you don't want to accept history. When I speak and I say that my education has taught me that come hell or high water, there has been and there will always be distrust among people of certain ethnic groups. As a matter of fact, quite frankly, if you ask me, there will always be distrust among people of all ethnic groups. African Guyanese are very trusting. Very trusting. But that doesn't mean that they're not cautious or distrusting in many instances. Indo-Guyanese are very pretensive. They pretend to trust. Because there's this principle that says, lick ass before you kick ass. In other words, humble yourself and go with the flow. Roll in the grass. Play the game until you are in a position to do better. And so they're deceitful. Bigger and better, you'll get better. History has shown me that. History has taught me that. Living history has taught me that. And so if, for me speaking that truth or that truism, you see me as a racist or promoting racism in Guyana, so be it. Let me tell you about racism in Guyana. At your luncheon, they say, God raise the dead. Speak no ill of the dead, them say. All of them say. That was one of the brightest sun in the PPP. At no point in his life did they see it fit to make him leader of that party. The PPP was not only founded by Chedi Jagan, he had a lot of African Guyanese alongside him. Check the history and see how they have been elevated or relegated in that party. You want to talk about racism? Go to Borbis. Hoxie Lancaster, neighbor to Wim, basically. Manchester, Lancaster, Liverpool, and those predominantly Afro-Guyanese communities. Go see that up to now, you know, in 2024, let me say about a year before elections, they're walking on mud dams. The neighborhood Democratic Council building is a death trap. But hop across the Wim, and you're going to find every street concreted and has concrete drains. And when your government that is not promoting racism and discrimination decided that it wanted a Hope-like canal in the area, despite the geographic evidence saying the best place to put it is at John's or Wim, they went to Liverpool to put it because it is going to pass smack dab down the middle, right through that predominantly Afro-Guyanese communities. It is going to bring into disuse or discontinued use 700 to 800 acres of land owned by Afro-Guyanese. What amount of financial compensation could return or maintain the benefit of owning 700 to 800 acres of land, productive land? Can you be compensated for that? And even if you could be compensated for that, shouldn't the PPP, being such a caring government, compensate its own people for theirs instead of compensating Black people? Because Black people don't want it. Black people recognize for once the value of the lands that they got and how it is going to empower them now and their future generations. But the PPP is not promoting racism. It just wants to destroy Black people economic well-being and the future of the next generations. So Rahman, I don't know what you call it. You could call it what you like. But history is my teacher. And history on my side, I dare any of y'all, quite frankly. I know y'all like me to quote, y'all like lock me up and stuff. If the ARC disagrees with me, when I say that history has taught me that the indigenous people, whether you want to call them Latino, you want to call them Armenian, you want to call them what, has been recorded as being headhunters of my ancestors. And unto this day, do not trust us. Y'all do y'all thing. Y'all do y'all thing. Put me before the courts to answer that. I didn't write the history. I didn't write the history. I ain't really writing history. I living history. Ask the policemen who from time to time have had to serve in Amerindian Guyanese, Amerindian communities. What the relationship with them and the inhabitants, residents, occupants of those communities have been like over the years compared to Indo-Guyanese policemen who serve in those communities. I'm guilty of promoting racism. When I went to Enmore North, as we call it, Haslington really, and hear with my own ears, Indian women saying that they are against the co-op issuing lands at Haslington North to African Guyanese because them no one black man go there for bugger up them pick me. I promoting racism. Is not so, Raman? I promoting racism. I can sit here and go on for the rest of the hour or so that is left on this program, proving to you, ungrateful bastard, why you're the jackass and you promoting racism as against me, simply teaching based on history. I promoting racism. That is why those two black women, the Chancellor and the Chief Justice, acting, can be made substantial or substantive in those positions which they've been serving for since Noah was a boy. How racist I am. How racist I am. To engineer all of the supersession in the Guyana Defense Force and especially the Guyana Police Force to ensure that the most qualified African Guyanese men and women don't lead those agencies, those state agencies. Which they have been serving all of their adult life. They've been good to work their way up from private to whatever ranks they've achieved, from cadet to whatever ranks they've been achieved, but they're not good enough to lead. Because the PPP, the Chatris are in power. I promoting racism. Me, Kiraki Amsterdam. Because Buxton Market is a flat tarmac that has never been even handed over by the PPP government that constructed it to the NDC. So they can't properly manage it. They have no supervisory authority over it. And the proper market space and building that is there collapsing because the government has refused to, since Noah was a boy, respond to the request for financing to fix it and make it habitable so that the market can be in its proper place. I promoting racism because black people, Buxton people, don't deserve a covered marketplace. Compared to Monreport market that has been built and rebuilt so many times, broken, brand new building, broken and restructured because in the Guyanese say they don't like how it was constructed. What's it right? Have you heard the announcement? Have you heard any announcement? That says the Lusignan market tarmac is currently being covered. They didn't announce it because they don't want to promote racism like Kidaki Amsterdam. But it's happening. It's happening. Go see for yourself. Go see all the H iron that are there and go see how they where they done dig out you know to place them and stuff. Go see for yourself. And tell me really and truly, who promoting racism, Rama? Yeah, just come up on in the mornings to push my button. But guess what? I just choose when the button could be pushed and in what direction I want to go when it pushed. And this morning I want to dress ya because I promoting racism. I promoting racism when I'm plastering the photographs of the little black boys all over the media and so on and say black man a thief, black man a like work. But I'm not promoting racism when an Indo-Guyanese hired to transport $10 million, thief it, and blame 3 men in 1 car for taking it from me. What kind of man you think they're gonna look for? What kind of man you think they're gonna look for? Black man because what? Kuli doesn't thief. When them are some of the biggest white collar criminals in this country. They're not thief. So I like promote racism. Allow me, let me promote it. But my racism is grounded in history. And I dare you to challenge it, Rahman. Ignorance is a lack of knowledge. Don't call me ignorant. I ain't ignorant. I lack knowledge. I mean, there are some departments in which I might lack knowledge, yeah. But not in the general sense. Not in the general sense. I can be arrogant. As I'm being this morning, I can be damn arrogant. Because I Michelle Obama, when you go low, I could go lower. I'm watching y'all over the week, you know. It's several for quite a while y'all pushing your luck. But I've been giving y'all a slide, you know. I'm not bother with that, man. I get time with that. It is racist. Very racist. When your government has an land allocation policies that says when Afro-Guyanese are to be awarded lands, we must take them far away from the original communities. Guide them far away. Dump them in some back, someplace behind that back. Where they will struggle economically and socially for survival. But when we have to allocate lands to Indo-Guyanese who apply, we must look for allotments closer to where they are from originally. So the support, the familial support that the black man get because the auntie and his mama and his uncle and his body and his niece and nieces, all of them live in close proximity of each other, so they could overlook each other's property, they could overlook each other's children, and so they could save some money, not having to pay for daycare services, etc. It's whittled away. When we take them, we throw them behind God's back. They're far from the support system. So it's like starting all over again. They ain't got shared resources no more. So they have to really struggle after the starvation wages that they're getting. But keep them Indo-Guyanese close to their original place of birth and where their family there and so on, close to the family structure, so that they can continue to enjoy the support system. That will make upward mobility easier for them. Are you racist? Because I dare to call a spade a spade. I'm really racist. Because I represent a government in the PPP that knows the importance of people's property as a source of capital and financing for their upward mobility, not only for their now generation, but in next generations. But I'm on a campaign like freaking Christopher Columbus. I support in a government, a PPP government like Christopher Columbus. Discovering what people already own and taking it away. And when you look for the greater part, it's one set of people suffering like that. Just as how the Americans suffer at the hand of Christopher Columbus or Columbusos, black people suffering at the hands of the PPP. That is suddenly discovering lands that have been owned by black people since Noah was a boy, and suddenly they're taking it. Let me tell you something. Let me talk about racism. Racism is the government, named the PPP, using its operatives at places like lands and surveys and deeds registry to disappear. To disappear. Proof of ownership of lands belonging to black people. People got in their hands their land documents, where you call it transport or title or whatever, based on when it was issued, proving that these are the proprietary lands. Handed down to them since Noah was a boy from their ancestors. And when the PPP turn up to take it away, and they go to the deeds registry and the land registry and lands and survey, wherever, for copies of the original, what they find in many instances, empty folders. Empty folders. And then the royal runaround starts. And if you ain't got resources to fight your battle to the end, next thing you know, your property is in the hands of somebody that ain't look like you. There's not racism. Mm-mm. There's not racism. There's marginalization. That is economic genocide. But all of it is fueled by the racist tendencies and policies of people looking like you, Rahman, in government. So y'all give me a royal break. Racism? Look around you and determine who really are the racists in this society. Why is it racist me recognize that a black couple, husband and wife, can't apply for and get individual pieces of land for themselves through the Ministry of Housing? But, I dare say, but, every time they carry John, the side chick, the side fowl, and all their friends, family, and favorites can apply and get a piece of land in their own names once they're in black like me. But they look like Rahman. Let's pay some bills and then I'll come back.
Are you planning your next visit to Oil Ridge, Guyana, South America? Well, let's accommodate you at Varon's Cheerful Country Manor. With free secured on-premises parking, our beautiful vacation air-conditioned home offers 3 beds, 2 bathrooms, a spacious kitchen, and all modern amenities. Located at Tushen, on the eastern bank of the mighty Essequibo and the western coast of Demerara, Varon's cheerful country manor is just a stone throw from the ocean. Make that reservation now on Airbnb and VRBO. For contact, call us on 516-770-3053 or 592-685-3521. Make Varon's Cheerful Country Manor your home away from home.
All right, so today we are here at Club Twilight up in Buxton, and we are here to talk about all that's going on up here. Trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton, you're in Tongue, you're looking for a place to get away to, this is the place. The Cutters, mwah. Listen, I'll be having some just now again. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, the ambience is beautiful, fully air conditioned. The decor is on point. The music's on point. Everything's on point. It's just me. I need some work, but everything else that belongs to this club here is on point. So if you want to find a nice little place where you can just drive out of town and have some drinks, have some food, you can call, you can order your stuff and just take it. You don't have to stay. Or if you want to stay here, that's what's up. And of course, they have special events for Valentine's. You can rent a hall. You can rent a hall, honey. You can rent a hall for weddings, for birthday parties, to have a bash. I hope he edits that out. But you know, whatever it is, this is definitely the place to be. So it's on Sideline Dam. You definitely want to ensure that you check this place out. But it's on your to-do list. All right, on your to-do list. This is definitely the place to check out, you know, a really cool, chill spot here in Buxton. I like this. This is Buxton needed this. We needed this. I needed this. You definitely needed too. Thank you.
Stop running around like headless chicken. Go to Ashton's marketplace for whole and cut chicken, beef, pork, processed meats like bacon, beef franks, smoked ham, ground pork, calabresa, and lots more. Ashton's offers wholesale and retail. Check them out. Call 613-2332 or WhatsApp 434-327-3955. Ashton's Marketplace at 72 Rob Street, Border.
Comes out your son. You burn this swine when I want you shine. The tree of life, them I want you climb, cause them heart no kind. Comes I say them heart no kind. Buxton Massive, Kidaki, Red Hat.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T&W Harris Butcher Shop located in the East Rheinveld Market Meat Section. Call us on 609-7168, 641-4494. Ask for Rastaman. T&W Harris Butcher Shop for the best in fresh cut meats and lots more.
Welcome back. The business is there. To tell you all, one, not racist. That it is I, the racist. As a councillor of the NONDC who refuse to pass the plans for them black man who are allocated lands at Haslington, or in Monart as we call it. Even after all the efforts of Anil Nandwal and his henchmen and women at the Quads Department and Housing and all over failed in a bid to take away the people land from the co-op. I was a racist who said me passing no plan. I was a racist who was giving the people the royal run around until Cam's TV turned up and suddenly the plans could be passed. Yeah. Raman, thank you for reminding me what a racist I am. Well, let me talk about housing. What's happening over at housing? Every time they carry John and Jane has been complaining for the longest while of paying their hard-earned cash for lands and or buildings, and housing has not been delivering. Why? What has been happening? What a minister name, Mr. Madam Minister, Madam Sir Minister, Susan Rodriguez, is that her name? Minister Rodriguez or whatever. What is happening over at housing? Why are people not getting what they have been paying for? This is an artist rendition. Show you how it look like. Rendering of a young professional elevated home. You see that? $34 million. How does a public servant acquire one like this? I'd like to find out, Madam Mr. Minister. How does a public servant acquire one of this? Assuming that you get 30 years to pay for it, it's approximately $1 million a year you pay in the bank. How does a young professional pay for that? $1 million a year. I do learn maths now. 12 is 96. But $80,000 a month. But I only working for $100,000 a month. Oh, yeah. Those of us who are working for $100,000 a month are not considered professionals. Eh? What are we? Because we are the lower end of the salary bracket. That soldier, man, that soldier, the military rank that is earning $100,000 a month is not professional. He's a jackabout. The police constable that is earning $100,000, this is a jackabout too. So they can't own homes like those. Can they? Or they got to be in charge of the quartermaster's store. Or the Guyana police force. Y'all talk to me. What will it take for a young professional in the public service to acquire one of that? Because as far as I know, you can get a maximum of 30 years to pay a mortgage. I don't know many people who get that maximum. Right? But the question remains, even if I were to get 30 years to pay for this mortgage to this property, and you know what's funny? You know what just dawned on me? If the bank lends you $34 million, it's not interest free, is it? It's not interest free. How much interest am I going to be paying on $34 million to acquire this home? So then the installment to the bank can be $80,000 a month. That might only cover the capital. We're going to have the interest. So even if it's a 10% interest, y'all don't chastise me for doing these very simplistic calculations. Let's say it's $8,000 on every month's installment. Let's say $88,000. Oh, I eating. Yeah, why my face get more long? How are you doing? What's happening over at housing? That's all I'm asking. Because here, people are saying that they've spent hard-earned money. Some they borrow, some they beg, some they must even thief, right? To pay housing, for example, $250,000 for a low-income house lot. But they pay more than a year now and they can't get it. And so why beg, borrow, and thief to pay so that they can be allocated and be given the house lot? But I hope that very quickly after that, or sometime soon after that, they'll be able to get their lot identified and occupied, even if it's in a couple of zinc house. So that the burden of paying these exorbitant rents now will be off of their backs, and they will try to cut and contrive with the little that they're running in the public service. Even that has not become a reality for them. Has not become a reality for them. They're still living in rent houses. They're still struggling to repay that money they borrowed to pay for that land. And they still have no clue where the land is located, what it looks like, and when they will get to occupy it. As a matter of fact, there are also those who have not only paid, but because they're a little better off than others, let me call it that, or no, they waited so long. They waited so long, 10, 15 years and so on and so forth, to get their allocations. And had it identified and so on and so forth. And so now they can occupy, they can start construction. But guess what? There's no infrastructure. There's no light. There's no water. And so they are constructing like cavemen. They are out there to tame the wild, wild west. What really is happening over at Ministry of Housing? What is the Ministry of Housing doing with all of these monies that they are collecting from people long before the people can occupy their land? Y'all talk to me, I don't know. Madam, I mean, Mr. Minister Confusion. I guess it's the same kind of confusion taking place over there at housing. I don't have the answers, but people are asking. Mr. Amsterdam, why up to now we can't get reallocation? We don't pay for it 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. We're still waiting. Is there a scarcity, a shortage of surveyors? Or is there no real political will to give people access to housing lands, especially in certain regions of this country? I hope you'll get a response, a timely response. They don't respond to me, you know. At least not on this program. We see press releases and we see press statements addressing some of the issues that we address here. That too is welcome. So I hope the ministry will soon enough issue a statement through whichever medium it chooses, so that these loving citizens, caring citizens, frustrated citizens of ours can understand what's happening over at housing. I wrote the pronouncements. And in case you wonder, I can't tell you what's happening over at Ministry of Social Services either. I was told that they started distributing old age pension books in Region 3, but apparently that's the only region that is so far distributing pension books in. All the others are on hold apparently because of this great magnanimous security breach where the white collar criminals have duplicate books or fraudulent books and stamps and everything else to rob the taxpayers of their money, which should be going to the old people then. But as an aside, just to pull wool over your eyes, don't discuss the magnitude of the fraud which allegedly is taking place at our dear religious sister Vindi Prasad's ministry. I think she's head of the Dharmic Sabha, am I right? Very religious woman. Somebody accused me of being racist this morning. Guess you all only are passed by she forget to riff for what racism is. At least so they allege at the ministry where she's in charge. But that's an aside. How dare people to say that that ministry that is headed by this good religious woman is buried in so much filth and fraudulent behavior, white collar crime. So much so that pensioners, all these pensioners can't see the light of day for the money and their benefits as they ought to enjoy them. But the Barlet tyrant Bundari doesn't want us to talk about that, so they're throwing on aside. Next year, we're going to be giving old age pensioners $41,000 a month, $5,000 more than they're currently getting. Y'all discuss that. Don't talk about it, fraud. The fraud is too embarrassing. And don't call for Vindya Prasad's resignation because she's incompetent. Nastiness happening under her watch at the ministry. Cassia is over at the Guyana Police Force because we reported to them a long time ago that this was happening and we asked them to investigate. That's not business. That's being self-serving. The lines are opened. 6225933 is the number to call. 6225933 is the number to call. Rahman, you could tell the money give me a call back. Lama hear from she. She and all I'm grateful. Ni makaram you call her yo. Call your life.
Yes, good morning to you and good morning to all my black brothers and sisters in Guyana. Happy Tuesday. Very good topic. We need to put out of this close to election that is part of politics and politics. My grandmother teach me well. He said, this is what you have to go up and look out for, because this is what poor people love. Land, power, money, and they love to kill black man. I do hope Mr. David Hines going to call in this morning. I left that garden. No, again, it is not Sherry Jagan say up and jack, and it's not Sherry Jagan use this word. Own the land, and you go own the country. And Flash Garden love to explain things too, and read fine print. What you have to do for own the land, do it. If you have to kill black man, push them out the land, run them and put them behind guard back, do it. Because Guyana belongs to East Indian people, Cody people. I do hope Mr. David Hines listening. I can call him and say, no, Flash Garden again. It is not Jagan. But if it's not, he is guilty of it. Because, as you said, he must said upon that, call the next man in. But he is guilty because his Flash Garden know how to break and enter a bank. And Flash Garden, the man said, come, ABC, go, and do this and break that, and bring the money to me. I am guilty as a man who break and enter that bank. Move on. We have to understand one thing in history. Nothing comes to black people easy. We have to fight for it. And black man don't want to fight for nothing. Black people don't even want to represent the Constitution. They call it 2020 was representing the Constitution. But black man don't want to represent it. I asked you the question. And it was fair enough to say Flash. I don't know. But no one in calling and say, hey, Flash, let us stay still have 2 more years or 3 more years before the opposition send any list which you could remove all and put who the opposition. Nobody in calling, but I'm calling went to court for say, hey, David Granger, you got to the end of the day, you got to take somebody from my list. You cannot put nobody there. That is the problem South Garden getting to black people today. One young man understand me yesterday when I said, Rhonda Lynn just represents your country, represents your black people, represent all Guyanese, represent the Constitution. She just left every week and bottom Georgetown and call for something that will benefit for all Guyanese, especially black people, teachers, and children. And that man was Flash Garden see behind that guy, Punkai Show. I support him. But I support Landalina and Gonzalo Leo. And that guy program, he always said, Auntie and uncle, he never mentioned Afro-Guyanese or African Guyanese, my African brothers, African auntie and uncle. He always said auntie and uncle. But daddy see no auntie and uncle with him protesting. This is our biggest problem. And we got to come together as one with love, unity, and support. We want change. If we want them only to stop the black man land, we got to do the necessary to stop it. It is not racial. It's one man.
I guess we lost Flash. Let's play a voice note.
Any of this notes. Karaki, with respect to WPA press conference yesterday, Dr. Hine is very professional in his conference. He touched on all the issues that need to be addressed. And he showed Bharat Jagdeo, Namlal, and Ali how a press conference should be held. One of the journalists asked Bharat Jagdeo on his live conference sometime last week, and his reply, his answer, that's when he asked him about his banking account in China. And his reply, he knew who used to carry in wig and lipstick in prison for bank chop. A vice president of our country. And this is the kind of talk this man carrying on, and the world is looking at him. Karaki, the only person who knows everything in Guyana is Bharat. Bharat knows everything. He putting him out in everything. He putting him out in education. He putting him out in health. He putting him out in Ministry of National security, he putting him out all about. But you know, sugar, failing, he get dumb. He ain't putting him out there. He not putting his mouth there. But what I want to say this morning, Dr. Hines, he didn't have no water bottle and he didn't have no cup. And he wasn't sipping from nothing. And if you're listening, the level of intelligence and constructiveness, but he have a bottle and a cup. And all he talking is a set of crap. When he take a sip from the cup, you're seeing like it going wild. I will watch my mouth there for now. You have a good day. Kakaraki.
Thank you for that voice note.
Morning, Brother Kidaki. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, all right-thinking Guyanese. Real Guyanese, real Guyanese, real Guyanese. I'm speaking to. This guy was in charge.
Call it on.
Greetings for a good day, my brother, to all blessed and wonderful Guyanese. I want to bring your thought to your attention. I mean, it's our business because it's real money spending, Guyanese money spending. You imagine 5:30 this morning or after 5, the president get a meeting with ministers, engineers, permanent secretary and contract and talking about who delaying work, who taking line with work, who doing bad work, that kind of thing. And when you listen to the press conference, he talking again to the friend, picking can like he know what to say. Talking about it. But I'm saying this to you, it's just a political gimmicks. That's what I'm saying. Because I was talking to a guy yesterday and he told me that I like the president know. Who said the president done? They must do everything going on because at the end of the day, it's like simple. You critics a job to do, and critics ain't no contractor. Anybody critic, anybody charge critics? When I did to be thing what we doing with the river or whatever it is. And what happened? Look at Brutus' issue. Not much months ago, Mr. Pastor, the man talking about Brutus' issue. He heard Pastor and Mr. Conway's haters. The next thing, good and what happened every day. And finally, I want to say, Mr. Kadaki, these people come back in 2020 with a vengeance, with a purpose. They enrich, as you always say, Dr. Anderson say, they enrich themselves. Not by millions, by billions. Because even the commercial power, they still have fund, political power. Well, let me tell you why. All the issues you could think about being controlled by this best. I have a problem with it. Look at Parliament, Mr. Kodaki. From the first day they were in Parliament, what they did, they give a man one seat, Deputy Speaker. Where did the chaos start from? And what bothers me is that all these liars and these brilliant minds, the people in this country, sat down, Mr. Kodaki, put the tape between the foot and accept it. I mean, nobody going to challenge that. I target it over and over and over. How could you give a person one seat as Deputy Speaker? And watch now. The woman with the kiss, which she ain't coming out? You could talk with her like, and not a boy ain't saying nothing. Again, Mr. Kodaki, the system set, divide and rule. And Guyanese right now, they're spiritually and mentally being controlled by the system. They're fighting for talk. Because when I'm doing them power, since I'm too slip. If you hear you're going on with them, today I can't think going on, but you say, why we can do by it? Why we can do by it? People are not telling but when I'm doing them power, who wasn't ass, who wasn't jackass, who wasn't this, like all people are like it. Now the same people being saying who's fool and that kind of thing, they're in a corner with a tail between the foot. Oh, Mr. Daki, thanks so much for listening. Have a blessed day, brother.
Thank you for your call. You know, let me tell you something. When banners can't sleep because things bothering them, because they have fun things to do. I like me if I can't sleep because things bothering me.
Morning,
Just get up and watch the television or something. So if all these things bothering you and you can't sleep, you could call the engineers them at 5 o'clock and so on. The engineers are going to determine if there's a working hours. None of my business. What are they? That's arrogance. That's arrogance. Who calls the piper? Who pays the piper calls the tune? That gives you the right to call your employees out of the homes at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. You know when this jackass they just get anointed president, they'll show you on the face. I like when you see my arrogance. When the jackass was made president, 4 the morning before Budweiser break, the jackass had a torch. Let's say you go and check on construction work at pump stations and all kind of thing. That's the kind of jackassery that you get for government. They have no idea of what to do at the time. So to justify all the thieving and corruption and the whittling away of the nation's resources, let us come up with these imbecilic ideas. What difference does it make bringing out your engineers at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock even in the morning, to answer silly questions that you got in your head? And against doing it during quote-unquote working hours, 8 to 4 or whatever the time is. It's past people, you're disrespectful to people's families. Because those people got families. If you say chicken in mean, check their woman and you know for find them, that's it, you better learn. Don't bring people, call people away from their families because you can't find peace in your home. Call your life.
Good morning, Kalaki, and good morning to everyone on this program. Oh, what a blessed day. I just want to echo something these days that is all I'm doing echoing because I think we need to do a lot of that so that people will pay attention to these previous situations. I was want to talk today about the corruption in Guyana, where I know there is corruption. The office of the First Lady. I mean, what is that? I'm echoing. Somebody said it already. They ain't checking it out. The office of the First Lady, money is allocated more than, oh my Jesus. And we have the pensioners there, suffering. We come into that. We have the teachers. They don't want to give them money. We got the power ship. There's another corrupt situation there. This power ship where they bring all the way from, I don't know, we must say Jordan or somewhere that side so far, or where they call this idea. Somewhere they bring this power ship. Up to now, we still getting blackout. We still getting blackout. We talk about the sugar. Gaisuko. Oh my Jesus. These are bare-faced corruption. These are what they call legislative corruption. Because the government have a right to support, they make it legal that they could support the sugar industry, try to back them out and all these things. Education system, oh Lord. All we've seen is big house going up for some people. And school where they starting and can't finish. Millions of dollars they vote for them for the contract. And school can't done. Corruption is there again. Health system. This expired drugs thing so much. $1 billion expired drugs. That thing stink bad. Somebody got to look at these things. That things stink. And they got the nurses and they don't want to pay them adequately for their services. The police. Oh my God. Don't let me talk with them because the police, all they're doing now is policing the people who exposing the thievery of the government and themselves. That's all they do. They're policing you as long as you want to go and
show the world or talk that the thieving going on in the country, the police are gonna come at you. Yeah. And corruption, oh Jesus, Quartermaster store and all these places. Infrastructure. Ooh. Hey. Let me pass by, let me leave God and 19 alone. Corruption, leave them there alone there. Check them out, just see what's going on. And last but not least, God gonna punish you for this. The pension book story what is alleged over $150 million in fraud. God gonna punish you for that. Tell you I don't concern who involved. Trust me. I gonna punish. I gonna want dead, but I never dead. I gonna punish for those things. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Good morning.
Thank you for your call. I'll allow me to play this voice note now. I'm taking your call until I finish playing his voice note. Please and thank you.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, all right-thinking Guyanese. Real Guyanese, real Guyanese, real Guyanese. I'm speaking to. This guy was in charge of Sodom and Gomorrah in this country. This guy have the audacity to tell Mr. Hughes that he must apologize for the election that they was trying to rig. Come on, bro. You have to apologize to this whole nation. Especially to the parents them, that you murdered so much, especially African people under your government. From 92 to now. You understand me? And you have the audacity to sit down there. Raise your flag so high up in the air. That's all you can talk about. When the Thursday come, that's all you can talk about. You're not talking nothing for let people know what's going on with this island. In our country, and our rest of patrimonies in this country. This is what you always sit down there to speak about every Thursday about the opposition. There's no other thing you can talk about but the opposition. You are running scared. You are running real scared. You're fighting the opposition so much, like how you're fighting the laws of this country. You understand me? You have a disgrace. You have a disgrace. You died sit down here with your dry face, raise your flags over your head. And using left, right, and center. Understand me? And you give them to come back and vote for you, for put you back in power, for destroy us more. You understand me? But let me tell you something. There is plenty done, a little bit left. That's say you will show the evidence that so much African people was murdered under you, including Ronald Waddle. On Saturday, sir. One of your own government minister was murdered under your government, and there is no proper investigation. And you will tell Mr. Hughes must apologize for trying to steal the election. Show us the evidence. Show us the evidence that the opposition was trying to rig the election. Let the petition show itself in court, and you'll see who is the rigger. Let the petition show. Let the petition continue, and we can see who is the rigger and who is in charge of Sodom and Gomorrah in this country. These people, open your eyes. Opposition is to go. Let me get rid of this. Man who in charge of Sodom and Gomorrah in this country, where is the country not going down good, it will get more worse if she don't pick up. That lunatic that win the election in America. That is what they like. I don't want to go to Rick Ford back now. The disrespectfulness, he's trying to uphold again because the guy that they was taking a neck out for and back in power. That lunatic, that madman. Understand me, Guyanese people? And let me tell you something. We have to put, the president got to put everything in place. Like Gecome, Gecome, make it right. And it's the only way we can get to this. Install wicked and keeping racial government towards especially African people and people who don't support them. Understand me, Guyanese people? Rise and shine. She's bigging up America. Never big up America so yet. Never big up Joe Biden government. If you will do it to that lunatic again, and your Guyanese, you'll have a someday.
You're still tuned to the Guyanese morning time. It is 10 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. I'm playing voice notes right now.
Good morning, Mr. Amsterdam. A pleasant Tuesday. This current Guyana government should be a government for all the people, not for only their supporters and some of the Afro-Guyanese that they could bribe. Just put a few thousands or a few millions in their hands and buy them over. But I don't know what happened to our people. We don't have unity. Still have still have the slave mentality. You don't have to play a puzzle or put on a magnifying glass to see what is happening in Guyana with the racism in the black people area, the streets and other things. The government has no interest. And then they're in where the Indians live. Look at the streets. Look at the drainage and irrigation. It's not right. A lot of Guyanese want to come home and reside or come and stay 6 months, and then wherever they are in North America, they go back. But you know what's going on in Guyana is terrible. Blackouts, the water is like cocoa. Drainage and irrigation in some areas is terrible. And Guyana, before going forward, is busy going backwards. And there's so much money from all the natural resources. And these folks keep just stealing it, enriching themselves and forgetting about poor Guyanese. Forgetting about poor Guyanese. The people should start looking after their own interests and stop being fooled or hoodwinked by this current government. And they think that by the Trumpism will be in power soon, that everything will be okay. But America looks after its own interests. So the government, they better be careful. America looks after its own interests. So Guyanese people, my fellow Guyanese people, wake up. Wake up. Nobody wouldn't fight for you. You have to fight for yourself. Wake up and don't be fooled.
Thank you for that voice note. It's now 6 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. Let me tell you that in keeping with Steve, in keeping with its undertaking to empower, we are hosting a marketing workshop on Sunday the 17th. That's this Sunday coming at 15 hours. It's for our local entrepreneurs, small business owners, and so on. Those people participated in the last business expo. I hope they're going to attend this expo because it was this marketing workshop. It was created with them in mind. We want to help our people to understand business and marketing as a tool of empowering themselves. magnetizing your brand, attracting, engaging, and retaining customers. You know, a lot of us say we're doing business, but we really don't do business because we don't attract customers. Number one, we don't market ourselves enough. Number two, we don't engage and keep our customers coming. We don't make that first-time customer a repeat customer. And so we have Mr. Haywood, who is going to come and share some of his time with us on Sunday from 3 o'clock, 15 hours. And the focus would be on how you really attract customers and you engage them and keep them coming, right? So those of you who have small businesses, those of you who know people who have small businesses, and they're looking for this kind of assistance, this kind of guidance, share the word with them. Sunday the 17th, it's going to happen at Club Twilight from 3 o'clock. Good. There's no charge really. There's no charge for this workshop. But of course, if anybody wants to contribute financially to providing a snack for the attendees and so on and so forth, you're welcome to do that. Good. Whatever support you want to give to the hosting of this workshop, feel free to hit me up on my inbox. But what is most important is you can really support this workshop by really spreading the word, and so that we get a large enough number of people who can benefit from this workshop. Good. And then, of course, it's November already, so the Christmas market, Buxton Christmas market, is going to take place on the 20th and the 21st. Wow. Yes, 20th and 21st. The 20th, really and truly, we're going to spend most of the day getting the space ready and so on. And so our projection is that from 2 o'clock or so, we should be able to start doing some business. So those of you are going to get registered for the Christmas market, you know the number to call at is 6827981, 6827981. Call and get registered for the Christmas market. And if you register, as a matter of fact, you really and truly, if you have plans to come into the Christmas market, you should very well get registered for this marketing workshop on Sunday, because it's going to give you some good insights as to, you know, what approaches you can take at the Christmas market to ensure that you maximize the opportunity being provided. Good. Again, spread the word. Ensure you inform those who are in business, those who are looking for the kind of support and the exposure. Good. I know a couple of businesses that have been at the expo. The last time they're doing quite well. I can tell you that for myself. I can tell you that they are doing quite well. I've been getting the reports because I've been staying in touch with them. Good. And let me tell you that if you're looking for ready-made food, as I like to call it, instant foods, porridge mixes and so on, you can contact Braffs, Lawrence Braffett. That's Braffs Manufacturing. And they can be contacted on 665-3960. 665-3960 telephone number. Or WhatsApp, you can call 651-1314, 651-1314. Braffs Manufacturing. Don't forget Braffs Manufacturing. That's the guy with the instant porridge and instant waffles and instant. He has a lot of instant food that he was at the expo there with. Good. At a minute to 9 o'clock, it's time for me to leave. I want to encourage you to continue to be good. If you can't be good, be safe. Continue to support those who support you and support the community. Of course, EC rentals as chairs and tables and all kinds of stuff to rent. It's the holiday season. You're planning your Christmas parties and so on. You can come down to Club Twilight and rent some space. And you can have EC party rental provided decor and the kinds of things that you would want to give your party that edge, that pop, as I would say. Good. They also sell ice, and they have ice to sell in bulk. You can hit them up where you want 20 pounds, 10 pounds, 2 pounds, a pound, 100 pounds, 1,000 pounds. Call 6827981, and EC Party Rentals is going to satisfy your need to keep cool, right? So hit them up, 6827981. With that, I say goodbye. Have a great day. Be good.